Their rules. But really, I was running from the guilt of not protecting her from Dad. Yeah, it doesn't matter now, though. Dad was either drunk or not around. I guess he must have run with one of the raider gangs, but I never really knew what he did. Don't know why Mom was with him. Maybe at some point in his life he wasn't a complete asshole.
This doesn't seem to be what we're looking for. There appears to be another intact memory close to you in temporal sequence. There. Try that one.
It's gonna be fine. You'll see.
But we don't know anybody here. And now, with the baby?
Come on, Sarah, you've got to give it a chance. I finally got steady work with a good outfit. Nothing like that in the NCR these days.
No, I'm not saying this was a mistake. I'm just... Are you sure these guys know what they're doing? They seem kinda green.
I know. But that's where I come in. Just wait. In a few years, I'll be running my own crew. As soon as I make the connections I need. Then I can give you anything you want. And little Mary, too.
I never worried about you before. Must be my mama instincts kicking in. Who knew I had those, huh?
Come on, you're great with her. And you don't need to worry about me. Most of it's just running security for the she. A lot of standing around looking tough.
They sure picked the right person for that job.
Listen, it's gonna be great here. See this? This is what's gonna keep you and Mary safe. I promise.
I know, Connie. I'm sure we're gonna be really happy here.
We are. You'll see. That's okay. I got it. Whatever made me think that a guy like me should have a daughter? No, I never deserved her. Not for 1 second.
Let's keep looking.
The thing about
I'll
happiness
connect you
is
to the next intact memory.
you only know you had it when it's gone. I mean, you may think to yourself that you're happy, but you don't really believe it. You focus on the petty bullshit or next job or whatever. It's only looking back, by comparison with what comes after, that you really understand. That's what happiness felt like.
How did you think this was gonna end, Kellogg? You thought you could just fuck with us? And we wouldn't fuck with you? Just so you know, they died like dogs. And you weren't there to help them.
I found another memory to try. I'll connect you.
Mind if we sit down?
There was always a job for someone like me. Didn't matter what it was. Didn't matter who I was supposed to kill. I got pretty good at it. Suit yourself. There's always someone who wanted someone else dead. Sometimes just roughed up, but dead was usually what they wanted. Sometimes they thought they could cheat me. That was usually only when I first arrived somewhere. Didn't matter to me. I just took it as part of the job. Little extra thrown in for free. I always got paid in the end. One way or another.
So, I hear you'll take care of people's problems. Is that right?
If you pay me.
Oh, we'll pay you. And, you'll do this all by yourself.
That's right.
We pay you when the job's done. Is that okay?
That's the way you want to do it? So who do you want dead?
Well, it's like this. There's his family. Lives down the creek a ways.
Well, we seem to be getting closer. Try this next one.
Mind if we sit down?
Suit yourself.
So, I hear you'll take care of people's problems. Is that right?
If you pay me.
Oh, we'll pay you. And, you'll do this all by yourself.
That's right.
We pay you when the job's done. Is that okay?
That's the way you want to do it? So who do you want dead?
Well, it's like this. There's his family. Lives down the creek a ways.
Mr. Kellogg, I'm glad you decided to meet with me.
So, you're with the Institute. I wanted to see for myself if you really existed.
We do, as you can see.
What do you want?
It's come to my attention that you've been rather disruptive of our operations lately. This must stop.
I do what people pay me to do. If that's a problem for you, I can see only one way out.
And what's that, Mr. Kellogg?
If I'm working for you, there's no more problem. From what I hear, you can afford me.
I don't think you fully understand the situation you're in.
I think I do.
Very well. B-748, initiate.
System off.
Impressive. We may have something to talk about after all.
Getting warmer. One of these has got to tell us something. We're running out of brain here. There's one that looks mostly intact. Connecting now.
Manual override initiated. Cryogenic stasis suspended.
Vault computers are still working. That's good. Checking through the logs. Hopefully it's all...
Just find it.
Pod C6. Down the hall near the end.
This is the one. Here.
Open it.
Is it over? Are we okay?
Almost. Everything's going to be fine.
Come here. Come here,
Wait.
baby.
No, I've got him.
Let the boy go. I'm only going to tell you once.
I'm not giving you Sean!
God damn it. Get the kid out of here. Let's go. At least we still have the backup.
Cryogenic sequence reinitialized.
What's the holdup?
I'm almost finished, Kellogg. I just need to confirm. Come on. All right, we're good.
I'm sorry you had to go through that again. I found another intact memory. Whenever you're ready. Is that your son? This
Wasn't my
appears to be a
idea
very
to settle
recent
down
one.
with the kid in the middle of Diamond
Good
City.
news, I think.
I thought it was a terrible idea, actually. But it was one of the old man's pet projects, so here we were. Me and the kid. Like a happy little family. I ended up kind of liking it. A reminder of what my life might have been if things had turned out differently. But there's no going back. I knew it was just temporary. It'd be back to normal business before too long.
Kellogg.
It's okay. One of these days you're gonna get your head blown off just barging in here like that.
Minimizing my exposure to civilians is a priority.
Forget I said anything. So what's the big crisis this time?
New orders for you. One of our scientists has left the Institute.
Left? As in?
He's gone rogue. Name's Dr. Brian Virgil. We know he's hiding somewhere in the glowing sea. Here's his file.
Wow. Some heads are gonna roll for this. Capture and return, or just elimination?
Elimination. He was working on a highly classified program.
No kidding. One of the top bioscience boys? Damn. So, I guess you're taking the kid back with you.
Affirmative. Your only mission is to locate and eliminate Virgil.
You're taking me home to my father?
Yes. Stand next to me and hold still.
Okay.
It's all over, but the dreaming.
X688. Ready to relay with Sean.
Bye, Mr. Kellogg. I hope I see you again soon.
Bye.
Teleportation. Now it all makes sense. Nobody's found the entrance to the Institute because there is no entrance. Let me pull you out of there as soon as you're ready. What kind of side effects the procedure might have had. No one's ever done this before. How do you feel?
To forget about how much I care for.
Am I okay? Are you seeing anything bad?
Don't be alarmed, but I honestly don't know what to look for. As I said before, this is uncharted territory, but your neural and physiological readings have returned to normal. From a medical standpoint, you're fine. Are you ready to talk about what happened in there?
We got what we needed. The Institute uses teleportation to get in and out.
Yes. Their greatest secret has finally been revealed.
That scientist Kellogg was supposed to track down. Virgil, we need to find him.
You're right. A rogue Institute scientist could answer all kinds of questions. Where did the memory say he was? The glowing sea? That doesn't make sense. No one goes there. Not even if they were desperate.
That's why he's there. to make the Institute think twice about following him.
That must be it. He's using the radiation and the glowing sea like a shield or a cloak, a way to throw them off and be at an advantage. If Virgil found a way to survive there, you'll have to do the same, if you're going to follow him.
I'll find a way to get through the rads. Don't worry.
Good luck, and be safe. By the way, I unplugged Mr. Valentine first. Removed the implant while you were waking up. He's waiting for you upstairs.
Hey.
Where to? You know, you look like you could really use this. These things have literally saved my life.
Bingo.
What's that for?
The memory den's not accepting new clients right now, sweetheart.
Nick.
Hope you got what you were looking for inside my head. I was right. I should have killed you when you were on ice.
Kellogg? Is that you?
What? What are you talking about?
You sounded like Kellogg just then.
Did I? Huh. Mari said there might be some mnemonic impressions left over. Anyway, I feel fine, so let's get going. Or I could head back to Diamond City, since you've got company already.
Let's get going, Nick.
Been one heck of a ride so far. Let's see where it takes us next.
You got the memory pod loaded up? Oh, you're not Irma. Good neighbors crazy. Thefts, murders, worse. Sometimes you just gotta escape a little to make it through the day.
I hear you. It's a mess out there.
It's rough in the best of days. But now, you ever listen to the Silver Shroud? That's what we need. No matter how bleak things got, he saved the day.
My family and I used to listen to every new episode.
You mean when they first aired? How? The last broadcast was hundreds of years ago.
I was in cryogenic storage for a long time. I only just woke up.
Oh man, that's amazing! You're just like Mr. Abominable from episode 83.
Wasn't he a caveman?
Yeah, that's the one. They found him in an iceberg off the harbor. Boy, if you just woke up. The world these days must take some getting used to.
It seems like people are finally rebuilding and recovering from the nuclear war.
Maybe in some parts, like Diamond City, but over here, we got a ways to go. I got a question for you. What if the Silver Shroud was real, with his black trench coat and gleaming silver submachine gun? I got a plan to bring him to life, so we can fight bad guys and give the rest of us a symbol of something better.
What plan?
I've built my own custom machine gun, even better than the one in the show. But to make this work, I still need the most important piece. The genuine Silver Shroud costume herself.
Sure.
And they actually got one here in Boston. They made it for the TV show. Will you help?
I might do it, if you make it worth my while.
When you're done, I got a reward all squared away. Will you just help me out?
As it happens, I already have your costume.
There she is, pretty as the posters. The Silver Shroud costume herself. And memorabilia, too? You're something else. Together with my gun, everything's all set.
Here you go.
After all these years, the Silver Shroud is born again. But there's just one problem. I'm just not Silver Shroud material. I could be Rhett Reinhardt, or his butler, Jarvie Blake. But the Shroud is strong, capable.
Come on, don't sell yourself short.
I got a better idea who should wear it. You up for being the Silver Shroud? You already got your own origin story and everything. What with the cryovault and all.
If I go along with this, I could use a little extra.
The Shroud's motivated by justice.
Looks like I get to be the Shroud.
The costume and gun are yours. So you patrol Good Neighbor's streets, and I'll call in any crimes on my radio station. Here... some calling cards, I guess. When you dispatch justice, leave them behind. That way, time to fight crime!
Hey, let me ask you something.
Sure, ask away.
It's just, with everything that's happened with you and your family, it's a whole hell of a lot to process. I wanted to make sure you're holding up all right.
Doesn't really matter. I'm here now. I've just got to deal with that.
Good attitude to have. Not the way I felt. Took me a long damn time to get a feel for this place. Thank goodness I found Diamond City. It's got its flaws, sure, but it beats the hell out of anywhere else in the Commonwealth. Of course, when I took up there back when, people were just as scared of the Institute as they are now. Maybe more. The massacre of the CPG was still pretty fresh in people's minds at that point, and folks were still losing sleep over the broken mask. Plenty of people assumed I was just a saboteur, moving in to melt down the reactor or poison the drinking water. But at the time, they couldn't exactly turn me away.
Broken mask?
This was long before I'd moved to town, but apparently some gentleman type shows up in Diamond City, heads down to Power Noodles. Guess he didn't like the food because he pulled his pistol and opened fire on the folks enjoying theirs. When security finally put enough holes in him to drop him, they say he was full of servos and sprockets, just like yours truly. Seems he malfunctioned, went berserk. It was the first time people realized that synths had stopped looking like me and started looking like them. Considering what these folks went through, I felt real lucky they let me in the front gate at all.
Massacre of the CPG? What's that?
The Commonwealth Provisional Government. Years back, a group of settlements tried to get together and form a coalition. Every settlement with even a hint of clout sent representatives to try and hash out an agreement. Only the Institute sent a representative of their own, a synth. The man killed every rep at the talks. The Commonwealth Provisional Government was over before it even got off the ground. I took up in town not long after. I was damn lucky they didn't just tell me to scram right then and there.
Why would you want to live among bigots like that?
Nah, I couldn't really blame them, given the circumstances. But folks sure started turning the other cheek when I showed up with the mayor's daughter. Gal of about 15. Pride and joy of the mayor back then. Man by the name of Henry Roberts. The young Miss Roberts decided she'd run off with some caravan hand she'd, known for an evening. Turns out the guy was part of a gang of kidnappers. I didn't even know who I was rescuing, just stumbled on a crying girl and 4 toughs. I took her home, and the mayor dubbed me a hero, offered me a place in town. Lots of folks protested, said I was a spy, but he wouldn't have it. Taking up in the city was tricky at first, but I never tried to hide what I was, and people seemed to warm to that.
You took down 4 guys by yourself?
Well, I didn't have to. Back then, synths were even more of an unknown quantity than they are today. I told them I was rigged to explode and started going beep, beep, beep. Hardest part of that rescue was keeping from laughing as they climbed over each other to get away.
Was it hard settling in?
Well, they sure didn't make it easy. I started off doing the jobs no one else wanted. I got more banged up being Diamond City's handyman than I ever did living out in the ruins. But I guess folks never forgot I rescued the mayor's daughter, so they started coming to me when people went missing. Wife runs off with a new paramour and takes the rent money with her. Talk to the synth. An upset father decides moving him and the kids to Good Neighbor in the dead of night's not the worst damn idea since the bomb. Go get Nick. After a while, the jobs got so backed up, they didn't even ask me to do the handyman stuff anymore. Hell, I was so happy to do it, it was months before I started charging anyone. I never stopped being Nick the Synth, but it was Nick the Detective folks came to see. It was about then that things finally started feeling normal. It took me a long time to realize that home is where you make it. And with some time and effort, this place can be home for you, too. That's a long story, but I hope it helps. Want to get moving? I've been told the Valentine Detective Agency signs are an eyesore, but they sure bring in the business.
Kent.
Just listen to the radio station, Shroud.
Galaxy News Radio.
When evil walks the streets of Boston, one man lurks in the shadows, shielding the innocent, judging the guilty. That guardian is...
Calling all Silver Shroud fans. A once-in-a-lifetime announcement. The Silver Shroud returns and he's gonna clean up the streets. Everyone heard how Wayne Delancey murdered Miss Selmy and her kid over a few lousy caps. Death is coming for you, Wayne.
Galaxy News Radio.
Best way to stick together, not a Silver
When
Shroud
evil walks the streets of Boston, one man lurks in the shadows, shielding the innocent, judging the guilty. That guardian is the Silver Shroud. Today's episode, the mystery of Mayor Murphy. Slowly
What's with
now.
the fancy duds?
Reveal yourself.
Looks expensive. Might be I found a new...
Silver Shroud. Fret not, old friend. It's
Your
only...
crimes have gone unpunished for too long.
What the hell's wrong with you? Well, nothing a few bullets
Tracking
will
our
kill.
dear Mayor
You
Murphy,
mess with me, you're
who is
dead.
up to some mischief.
So, he wasn't here in some kind of official capacity.
Don't underestimate us again.
Hardly. Here, let me show you. The contents of the late mayor's case.
But these are real estate.
Friend of the show, Jerry, is here.
Is this thing on? Hello? Hello?
It's on.
Can't control us if we're not afraid. Now, who's
We're
scared
recording
of
in
the
here.
Institute? Not us. And which town in the
man.
Commonwealth should the Institute not fuck with?
Good neighbor.
Good neighbor. And who's in charge of good neighbor?
The people, for the people.
Great. Silver Shroud's dispatched justice already.
Brotherhood
Miss
of
Selmy
Steel.
has been avenged.
Shit, the Shroud off Wayne? Wait, so this guy's actually for real?
Oh, you better believe it.
Wow.
So, Jerry, go on. Tell the listeners about what we're talking about.
Right. So AJ, you know the chem dealer by Bobby's. He's doing good for himself. He says he's got a whole new market. Kids. Even with his garbage chems, he's just raking in the caps.
You hear that? Sounds like the Silver Shroud has another bad guy to deal with.
Why? This Shroud guy, he's gonna muscle in on the chem trade.
Hey, look at the clown.
He's gonna do
This is
something.
my turf, clown.
AJ's selling the kids.
And I don't appreciate
chems
what
have
you call them.
killed
Trespassers.
I don't get it.
Peddling poison to kids, are we? Today, you face the Silver Shroud!
Who you say? Oh, for Christ's sake. He can't put you up to this? He keeps moaning about the poor little kids. What the hell, right? Tell you what. I'll pay you, let's say 50 caps just to shut up about it. And, maybe get Kent off my back. All right?
Stop selling to children, a miscreant, or face my wrath.
You're through, son.
Screw you. Waste the fig.
Be still, sweet Shroud. I removed that scumbag smudge. Sick with fever and still suffering. No, dear heart. The Shroud stumbled. The mistress maneuvered. I knew of the mayor's misdeeds for many days.
The Silver Shroud's bringing justice to Good Neighbor. You bad guys better look out. And now, a special update. The villainous assassin Kendra was recently spotted at the third rail. The same Kendra who bombed Little Joe's shack and killed 4 innocent drifters. If you want to see the Silver Shroud in action, stay near Whitechapel Charlie. The Shroud's sure to interrogate and find the evildoer's whereabouts.
Galaxy
Hancock says newcomers are welcome in the third rail.
When evil walks the streets of Boston, one man lurks in the shadows, shielding the innocent, judging the guilty. That guardian is the Silver Shroud.
customers.
Today's episode,
One of them
Fat
wankers from the
Peggy's
posters.
Folly.
What you wearing that for?
Come on,
You look upon the Silver Shroud. I seek a miscreant named Kendra.
Shroud?
I ain't never been to secret gangster.
Kendra is not one to be trifled with. People associated with her have a habit of being found face down in a ditch. If you're set on meeting her, for a fee it can be arranged.
Oh, she's all right. Ain't you all right, Wendy? Sydney? Yeah.
It's Candy. And yeah, of course I'm all right. I'm just a young, dumb girl in love with a handsome, dangerous man.
Ah, brother. All right, the skirt can stay, but close that door. Last thing
Can
we
you spare a
need
few details on her at least? On the house?
You got to have finesse to be an assassin. Kendra's
nefarious lair.
Very skilled. Listen, mate, the combat scan shows you know what you're about. Save your camps, buy a lager instead.
It is not wise to stand between the Silver Shroud and righteous justice.
Justice?
It is I,
You mean to end her? In that case, her flat's just south of Good Neighbor. Water Street Apartments. Look out for the blighters she's got with her. Nasty piece of business, that. Good luck.
Your mistake is our gain. Holy is it?
God, I love this
Death has
song.
come for you, evildoer.
Can't say I'm surprised to find you in a dump like this, McCready.
I was wondering how long it would take your bloodhounds to track me down, Winlock.
Okay.
It's been almost 3 months. Don't
Whatever
tell me
you
you're
want,
getting rusty.
Should we
I'll
take
do
this
it.
outside?
Just don't kill me too.
I'm just here to deliver a message.
In case you forgot, I left the Gunners for good.
Yeah, I heard. But you're still taking jobs in the Commonwealth. That isn't going to work for us.
I don't take orders from you.
Crime fighters?
Not
What a
anymore.
laugh. And you call
Why don't you take your girlfriend and walk out of here while you still can?
What?
Why,
Tell me we don't have to listen to this shit. Listen up.
the Silver Shroud,
The only reason we
have
haven't
got
filled
you
your body full of bullets is that we don't want a war with good neighbors. See, we respect other people's boundaries. We know how to play the game. It's something you never learned.
Glad to have disappointed you.
You're right. Criminal
You can play the tough guy all you want. But if we hear you're still operating inside Gunner territory, all bets are off.
I'm just a
You got
pawn
that?
in this
You
game,
finished?
pal.
Yeah.
You see?
We're
My
finished.
master,
Come on,
the
Barnes.
real master, he's been pulling all the strings.
You mean?
Look, pal.
That's right,
You're preaching
mistress.
about the atom or
This was
looking
all
for a
just
friend.
a big
You've got the wrong guy.
While
If
we
you
were
need a
here
hired
having
gun,
our little
then
jaw
maybe we can
session,
talk.
my boss has been at your parlor, stealing back those deeds you took from Mayor Murphy's briefcase.
Treacherous Toad! You defiled my sacred sanctum. For that,
Maybe.
you will.
Why don't you tell me who those guys were first?
Couple of morons looking to climb the ladder of success by stepping on everyone else on the way up. Shouldn't be surprised, though. That's how it goes when you run with the Gunners.
That was never going to happen. I ain't never been alive, you see.
By the shadows, Fat Fahey, he's a robot.
Wow.
Sounds like you can handle yourself. But I worry about those guys throwing a wrench in the works.
If you're worried about Winlock and Barnes, don't be. They couldn't kill a squirrel with a rocket launcher. Now what about you? How do I know I won't...
Monster robots, assaulting from all angles. Not even the Silver Shroud can kill what isn't alive.
Watch me, mistress.
Are you always this suspicious?
Hey, you approached me. And frankly, I'm taking a huge risk being out here in the Commonwealth in the first place. So I'm not about to leave anything to chance. Which brings me back to my original question. Can I trust you?
Hold on. What kind of risk are you talking about?
I already told you way too much. You've been listening to Galaxy News Radio, a wholly owned subsidiary of Galaxy News Network. Tired of playing 20 questions. So I'll cut you a deal right now. 250 cash. Up front. And there's no room for bargaining. What do you say?
Everything's negotiable. Would you take 200?
Something wrong with your hearing? I just told you I'm not going to negotiate. So, are you in, or should I get back to my drink?
Let me think about it.
It's not like the meter's running. Take your time. I got plenty.
Fat Fahey's Mobbots have been sent back to the mechanical hell that spawned them.
Yes, my choleric companion. And no, robotic hellspawn they were, but not Fat Fahey's